No, only one definitely, but I'm going to bring up a couple other just to put everybody on the same page.
It's a pain closing a house far away.
Imagine. All right, it is 7:30. I'd like to call the Brimfield Township Board of Trustees emergency meeting to order on June 23rd, 2022. Roll call for attendance. Mike?
Yes.
Nick, I'm here.
Yes.
All right, we have a full board. We called this emergency meeting to order. It's in reference to the construction project for the fire and administration building. At this time, the Board of Trustees is being asked to approve a change order related to the block apron around the bottom of the building. Let me give you a little history on this of what's going on. So we put the building out for bid. The building was bid and accepted with regular block from the ground up. We also had put in our bid request several alternates. And one of the alternates selected by the Board of Trustees was to replace about the bottom 3 feet of brick with regular like red brick with stone face brick apron around the outside of that. So we accepted that. Our general contractor, Rycon, subcontracted the work out to Valentine Contractors Incorporated. On October 6, 2021, Valentine's won the contract through Rycon. Great Lakes was the initial stone manufacturer for the project, and they were sent a purchase order on October 1st, 2021. Great Lakes had made efforts to have the stone shop drawings approved, but late in the process, sometime in late March, early April, the smooth wainscot stone was revised to chisel face. That is originally what we had asked for, which is the chisel face, not smooth block on the front. So late into the project, Great Lakes had to try to find the stone and the right type of stone. They went to Scory Supply, found Franklin Echelon Stone, and they put in a place order on 4/19/2022 for that stone with the colors selected by the fire department. The issue that they ran into is that Great Lakes could have potentially gotten the stone face for the township at the awarded bid price, but it would push it all the way back until September or October. So in order to keep the project moving forward, they needed to go with a different type of block. That block had an increased cost of $50,000, and so they asked the Board of Trustees for a change order to go to that block face at an increase of $50,000. It was kicked back to Valentine's, saying that price was too high. They needed to look at this, and Valentine's dropped the cost to $40,800 for the change order request. It was, once again, I had a conversation with Mario, the project manager, with Rycon, and with Bob, the architect, and it was kicked back to Rycon again, and they've lowered it now. Craig, I don't have that.
It's 30,600.
Let me give you the exact amount here.
Yeah, I don't know the exact. Here, keep talking. I can look it up.
I'm pulling it up right now.
Oh, okay.
So the second revised change order request now is $30,336 in order to change from smooth face to the chisel faced block on the front of this. I had Craig reach out to Bob with the architect, and Bob sent us a letter. Everybody should have a copy of it, but I'll just read it here for you. Moody Nolan and Brimfield Township have received a number of change order requests, proposals from Rycon Construction. The following is a review and discussion of COR 2 chiseled stone revised 6/13/2022. You can read the whole email there. The stone in question was submitted as a material for review and selection. At no time did the submitted include a proposal quantifying any additional cost and or deductions related to the selected material. After the material was ordered, a change order request were submitted to Moody Nolan and Brimfield Township, identifying additional costs incurred by the mason. The backup material supplied by the COR identifies an increase in material, increased labor due to the number of pieces and weight, along with the change of materials and factors in the revised cost. He goes on to say that additional materials and accessories are submitted with change order that were not included in the original alternate pricing. Additional information would be required to accurately determine if materials included in the request are completely a product of a revised material. Based upon the information supplied and or not supplied, we are not able to recommend the approval of change order request number 2 for the revision of the manufactured stone wainscot requested bid alternative number 5. So he's saying they haven't submitted enough documentation to them to show that the entire change order is related to price increase of the block. Should we be paying for additional labor? No, they should have figured that into their bid. The problem we face is the masons are out of work. So if we don't approve this today, they got enough work to get them through tomorrow, and then they're off the job site. Additionally, the wainscoting brick face has been ordered and delivered. It's sitting at the station ready to be installed. So the question before the board is, do we allow this change order at $30,000? I talked with John. I believe he sent a text message to everybody saying that the money was in there in the contingency funds to pay for this. But this would be an approval to keep the project forward and use the changed block face. So that's kind of the story.
Well, so they're already approved to do the labor.
Mhm.
So, I mean, so is the cost of the brick that much more, or is it the labor that's that much more? I mean, because if we this, we're going against what Rycon said.
Well, we're not going again. He's just saying that there wasn't enough to show that there was a cost increase for the brick. He said there could be, but they just didn't submit like every bill for the block. So if you look here, it'll show you that the echelon chiseled face.
That's the one you wanted first? Yeah. Was it chiseled face?
So you'll see here, They're saying that their echelon chisel faced and the North American cast stone are 90,000 plus 46,000. If they went with Great Lakes, it was 91,000. So he's taking 90,000 plus 46,000, and that's where they're getting that price at. And so they're crediting us back to 91,000 that we would have paid to Great Lakes Stone, getting us down to a subtotal here of,
Right.
of whatever.
It just doesn't, these things, these guys sit around.
We did get them though. I will say we got them from 50,000 down to 30,000.
So, I mean, these are the original bricks you guys wanted, right?
This was what originally was called out in the spec.
Yes.
Could we have went with the other one? Absolutely.
Or the other option is we say, nope, just
They didn't.
there is an option C out there, which
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of, but we could just say, just run straight brick all the way down.
At no time were we told there's an increase in cost.
Right.
Up until what, so a week ago? Week and a half ago?
And that's my concern, is that this change order is dated for 6/13, that, obviously we and Moody Nolan should have been made aware a lot earlier, because we could have made alternate decisions
Right.
and looked for different block. But now we got blocks sitting at the job site and workers sitting there going, what do you want us to do?
It's like we're over a barrel.
Yes.
I mean, personally, I'm fine with the brick, but Sue, weigh in, Sue. What do you think?
Well, the brick is already here. John's on vacation this week, and you know how I feel about spending money without him not being here present. But I do understand that he has been in contact with all of you and approved whatever, that there's funds there to do that with. I think we should consider too, we're talking about brick now, but we also have a sprinkler system, and we have a wall to be removed with a handrail put up, and those are going to be changes. I have yet to see a written change order from anybody on anything since the project's been started.
Right.
And we've asked for that for weeks.
Yes, it's been, well, let's see, end of May.
We've asked over and over.
I mean, Craig, this is your project.
Yes.
Because I know you meet with Scott every day, I hope. Because it seems like you were almost blindsided.
We were.
We were.
I'd be going to Scott. If you see him every day, he should be telling you what's going on.
He doesn't deal with the dollar value amount. That's where Mario came in. And Mario would even say at this point that he was blindsided by it.
So, and I should say, not to defend Rycon, but Mario was not our original project manager. They had somebody else project managing this, and they pulled him off the project and dumped Mario
That's it,
into
Scott.
the middle of this.
Frank.
So Frank was the original. Now Mario's trying to play catch up to figure out, who did what and why what happened. And so I had that conversation with him on the telephone this week, and that's how we got down to the 30,000. And basically what they did to get to the 30,000 is Rycon cut out their
Which
overhead profit and bond percentages off the bid.
Will they make it up somewhere else?
There's always slack in projects, right? There's money to be made up everywhere, but that's how he was able to get this change order down. They basically cut their bond percentage, their profit percentage, their overhead percentage to get that down to.
So I guess we have to look at it. Are we that worried about the stone look along 3 feet, or do we just tell them to brick it like a fire station should be? I don't know. 20 years, people might not like that kind of stone face. I don't know.
What's at the base of the police station right now in the
I
school?
could not even tell you.
I'm not sure.
I don't even notice it.
We got this design off of Suffield and the school system, right?
Right.
So it matches, that was the idea behind it, was matching the school.
The school is like that. I'm
We
not
have
sure what the police is.
Chiseled face block across the bottom and then brick.
I'm like Sue, I'm a little bit worried. What if, Portage County now says we got to put a sprinkler system in? Once again, Portage County is behind the 8 ball.
Well, that's not all. That's not all of them.
Yeah, we have some more to talk about, but nothing to be approved today. And the other ones, there's no answer on those yet. I'd like to talk about that after this one here.
So Craig, what do you think about the stone face versus bricks?
guess if you pin me down and say, what would I do? I would like to keep the project going, but I'm afraid that this is just one thing that piggybacks into the next thing. So
the chisel block is already on site, right?
Right, but they'll
Yeah.
just have to take it back, and that'll be their cost.
Yeah, so
But
we're at
then,
30,000 to put that chisel, the broken face.
And the chisel face is what the school system has on their school up at the high school.
Gee, I couldn't even tell you. See, I don't even look at stuff that close.
But
Nobody
if
has a picture of it on their phone, do they?
But if we send that back, we're gonna incur,
Not us, they are.
Yeah, because we never approved them
We
to
never
order
approved
that.
it.
okay.
I mean, could we limit the amount of it? Could we just do it across the front, in the side? Do we need it in the back? What if we split it up?
I can't answer that.
I couldn't answer that, and we'd have to go back to the architect to, because it's gonna change stuff too, because then you're removing the cap there in certain places. So I don't know how that all ties in with the architect.
Well, I mean, if we go with this, we need to, we're gonna have to watch everything.
Mhm.
I mean, we can't have these kind of things sneak up on us again.
Right. Well, and that was kind of the conversation with Mario.
I mean, and then on the other hand, do we start looking for, do we bite the bullet and hire someone to stand over there and watch them?
No, because somebody standing there isn't gonna be the issue. Nobody would have found this unless Mario from Rycon brought it to us, because the contractor did it himself, and, there was nothing that could have been done by Moody Nolan or Brimfield Township to have caught this earlier. It was them doing it on their own over there. And
Well, we gotta get things done. I mean,
Right.
We're gonna be sitting here this time next year.
well, and that's why I called this as an emergency meeting, because Craig has an 11 o'clock today with the contractors, their weekly meeting. So he needs to give an update to them on what we think we should do.
Okay, well, we gotta.
Brian texted me, he said we have brick to the bottom on the PD. Okay, so it's a little different over there.
What?
Brick to the bottom on the PD, so I think it looks a little different at the PD.
Yeah, I don't ever remember seeing that stone there. I mean, I like how the PD looks good, so. But I mean, it's voters' money we're dealing with, so, we just can't keep having all these going up and up, I know there's always fluff in these things, but
Now, the PD does have accents that we didn't put into this project. So instead of doing like the big archways around stuff, we alternated for the chisel face at the base of the project.
okay, well,
I mean, I'm okay with whatever the board wants to do. I just wanted to,
yeah, see, well, there.
right. So they do, see how they did this work here and this work. We didn't do any of that. So instead of doing the upper stuff, it's across the base.
All right. You said the Suffield Fire Department?
That Suffield has that work done, right?
Yeah,
The
but
chisel
that,
work.
we wanted to match more toward the school.
So I think if you look at the school, that's what you're looking for.
So then the mason guy just went ahead and did it without.
Well,
a
he
change
ordered what he could get. He should have put in the change order in April to say, hey, I got this other stone from Scory Supply, but it's going to cost you X dollars more.
I wonder why he should be here. He's the one that screwed it up. Yeah, I can't find a picture of the part of the pictures, but the Suffield Fire Department looks pretty much just like it's all brick.
Well, I would like to go with the chisel face because it's already here. And that way the project won't come to an absolute stop for 2 or 3 months. And if we have the funds to do it, it's just my opinion. If we have the funds to do that and it coincides with what the high school has, that will
It's the
connect
elementary.
it all better.
Yeah, the elementary schools.
The elementary school, okay.
Here's the elementary.
Yeah.
See here how they do it across the base.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it's going to be. That all the way across the base of the building. So it's a bigger block. It's heavier block. It takes more work to install that, and then they put a cap on that, and then they run brick the rest of the way up. So that's why they're at a stopping point, because they need to know what the base is gonna be before they can
Okay.
brick the rest of the way up.
So, I mean, this is, just the first time. We just gotta watch.
Right. So, Sue, would you like to make that motion to accept the purchase order?
Yes,
All right,
so moved.
So Sue makes a motion to accept the change order. Let me get this right for our meeting minutes here. Hold on 1 second, Mike.
To accept change order.
I'm gonna give you a date for it. Give me 1 second here. Dated 6/20/2022.
6/20/2022. And what was the cost?
$30,336.
Okay, Sue made the motion.
Yes, Sue moves.
I'll second.
All right. Any additional discussion on the block itself?
Yeah, I just think that we need to put our best foot forward and make sure that this doesn't happen again and other issues.
Craig, can we kind of charge you with making that clear today in the meeting today?
Yeah, I mean, I have a meeting at 11 and yes, it'll be very clear and I think we can discuss other things.
Yeah,
we're not willing to,
Right.
and you can't just do this. You can't just order stuff on your own outside of the scope of the project.
Right.
So,
I think what Rycon should have kicked in a little more.
Yeah, they kicked in 10,000, Valentine kicked in 10,000. So it got us down to 30. So
Now, will we actually be seeing a written change order?
yes, Craig sent it to us.
All right,
it's
Yeah.
there and then Bob would,
But the change order, I guess, that they sent us isn't the change order form that Moody Nolan uses, so Moody Nolan's got to write it up and then we'll all sign the change order.
Okay, so we gotta have a roll call.
Yep. Roll call for acceptance. Mike?
Yes.
Nick? Yes. Sue?
yes.
Okay, motion passes. All right, next, related to the fire station. There are 3 more potential changes coming down the road.
So we're not gonna need any action on this.
We're not need
Just
action.
inform me.
Yeah, this is just information on these right now because we need to get more information before we make this.
Okay.
The 3 change orders for sure coming down the road that we need to figure out. Number 1 is going to be the bell tower. The bell tower, Moody Nolan is working on right now to figure out who owes on this portion of the project. The bell tower was written into the specs, but the cost pieces were not tied into it. So they're trying to figure out who was responsible for what revised to the changes to support the bell tower. Meaning they need a special piece of equipment to get the bell up there, but special equipment shouldn't be on us. It should have been on them because they knew they had to lift the bell. That's something that they should take care of. But some additional engineering and steel costs potentially could be on us. Right now, they're asking for an additional $11,000 for the bell towers. For the equipment, the additional manpower, shop drawings, special lift.
But they bidded it? It was in
there that we wanted the bell put in, but it was missing some information, it sounds like. Bob's still working through it. This just came through like 2 days ago, so Bob's trying to figure it out.
Tell them to get the damn thing put up.
Well, that's what we want to do, but we got to figure out who's got to pay for what in order to get it up. So there's not going to be a motion on this today, but the total cost of that is potentially $11,000. Bob, from what I understand, doesn't believe we owe the whole $11,000. We shouldn't be paying for the additional labor, and we shouldn't be paying for the special lift. Now, material outside of that could be us because there's some special beams needed to support that.
Because they
additional weight.
didn't know what they were getting into anyhow.
Yeah, and I don't think all the information was there because we didn't give them the weight of the bell until after the project was awarded. If you look at the material parts, labor, the materials to draw, fabricate, and paint and deliver is $3,000. So that's tied into the $11,000, but it's $3,000 worth of additional steel to go up there to support that bell.
Weren't they supposed to put that up 2 weeks ago? And so, I mean, are we holding them up on the bricking and different things they need to do?
No, this one, they were going to try to shoot for this Friday, but it's gotten delayed again because we need to figure out who owes what money. That really isn't going to change much because they got a brick from the bottom up.
Okay.
So we haven't really delayed them
Okay,
on
so-
this piece. So we're okay. We're working on it, but I wanted the board to be aware that that's the first one. The next one is sprinkler systems in the attic space. So because of the capacity or volume of space in the attic, Portage County was looking at the drawings and said, nope, you got to sprinkler that. It was not designed in there to have a sprinkler system. So now we have to re-engineer that to add sprinkler system to the attic system. That's about $110,000 they're saying.
For God's sake, it's a fire department. Who the hell do you call?
Right.
Ghostbusters.
Yeah. So according to building code, I guess there's just enough volume up there that it requires it. They're still looking into it. This one's
Can they make less volume? Sure be a lot cheaper to have a architect look at it and make it less volume.
Well, they're looking at options, and I don't know how.
$110,000, that's bull.
Right.
Tell Portage County to pay it. They get all the damn local government fund.
I know this is the problem. So I don't know how we do that though, because the reduced volume, you have to change pitch of the roof. I don't know where all that falls under this.
Well, I would, when you talk to them, Craig, talk to them about changing the volume. I mean, that's why these nursing homes aren't attaching these car parts to them, because they don't want to put all that extra crap in.
Right.
Freaking government, out of control.
Again, this was a surprise.
Yeah. This is nobody could have
It
anticipated.
should not be a surprise. It's Portage County, for God's sake.
So that no, you're fine. And that one's on the list, but it's still early. That's very preliminary too. The
Okay.
other one that is pressing, and this is the big one, is the insulation of the roof. So in order to get your occupancy permit, you have to meet, or your building permits, you have to meet a certain R value.
Right.
The problem that we face is the garage bays, because the doors are so gigantic, it lets all the energy out the doors as soon as you open them up. So they have to make up that R value somewhere. Obviously, they do as best they can on the doors, but that's very minute compared to where else they can make it up, which is in the roof. So in the design of this, they called for a specific type of insulation on the roofing to get the R value where we needed to be. The insulation on the roofing, they have been told that they can get the insulation at our cost. However, it won't be here till sometime in 2023. Because the insulation cannot be found anywhere. That's as soon as they can get in the queue to have the insulation made.
Wow.
So they went back to their roofer and said, Rycon, and said, what do we do? What are our options? And the roofer can simulate that by building his own sandwich board of insulation, but he's got to hand make it all. So if he was to do that and build a similar type of R value insulation up there and hand build it all on site, he wants an additional $260,000 to do that. So
Back to Moody and Nolan.
So that's the thing, is we need to go back to Moody Nolan to say, hey, what are other engineering options? Or
Can that be put in after? I mean, can they build the roof and then in 2023 they put it in?
no, because the way they build it, if you look at it, it's kind of like decking. So there's this piece down here. This is insulation, board, insulation, wood, and then the roofing
Oh, we
material.
definitely need some ideas.
But they have to be careful too, because not only does it need to hit an R value, it can't be. We talked about spray foam insulation. The spray foam insulation issue in an attic is it'll actually bake the shingles, and it'll void our warranty on our shingles. So we can get the same R value by spraying, but the way it traps the heat, it's going to burn your shingles
So
off.
how long will it take to burn the shingles off? Is we talking 15 years? Sure be cheaper to put new shingles on.
Well, but they're saying it just voids our warranty completely with the shingles. So any damage to the shingles in that time frame, and any damage caused by those shingles, is going to be on the township.
I'd be willing to take that risk. I mean, do we switch it over to a tin roof?
Well, those are all options that are out there. But I think the first option that we're discussing when I talked with Moody Nolan was the fact that the insulation order should have been placed on October 1st, the day they were awarded it, because it is a known issue that insulation cannot be found in the United States right now. So the question is, should they eat the $260,000?
Hell yes.
That's my opinion, but we need
Yes.
to figure that out.
Hey, Craig,
Yes.
I mean, when you're talking to them, look at the possibility of maybe doing a tin roof. I think that's what we wanted in the first place.
We're in the talks of all that. I mean, my opinion, it's your guys' decision, but my opinion is I am not eating $260,000. Sorry, not happening. Find an alternate.
So here's, and I bring all these up, A, to make
Well,
the
I'm glad
board
you
aware, but B, here's my suggestion. With the board's approval, I would like to sit down either next Thursday or the Thursday after that, before the construction meeting, and have Mario come in and have Bob come in and sit down with them and get both sides of the story at the table together. Instead of Mario calling and Bob calling, then you got to call the other one back, and we're playing the telephone game. Figure out all the options that exist. They take it back to their department heads. I bring it back here to the board, and we lay it all out to say, here's the issues that we see immediate and in the future. Here's the options that exist. What direction do we want to give them? And just kind of get ahead of this instead of chasing it like I spent chasing this brick face piece at the last minute.
Right, I agree. I mean, it makes a lot of sense. I mean, even if Sue or someone wants to sit in, you guys aren't making a decision.
Right.
You know, I doubt if I can make it, but I think we need to. I mean, we got to look at all the options. I mean, to have them build it at $220,000, that's insane.
Right. And I'm not looking to make decisions at that meeting. I just want to go get the information and bring it back.
But ask them if we would switch over to a tin roof.
Well, that's what I want to explore, all those options. Can we go to tin roof? Can they do this? Is there a different insulation type? Like, give me a plethora of options so we can figure out what's going to
Yeah,
work.
because I mean, remember, I can't remember the exact number. Oh, $600,000 or $700,000 that John, we kept in reserve just in case for things like this. But that can go away quickly.
Right.
Let's throw in there. They bid it.
Right.
Right.
At this.
Well,
is
but
this
here's-
our problems?
Well, here's the issue, and Mario made the comment, and then when I talked to John, he also kind of said, Cadetti said the same thing. We're in unprecedented times, and no judge is going to side with us to say they didn't meet the deadline because they couldn't get materials.
You're right.
So
Yeah,
what
he
Mario
made
is
that-
saying is, listen, you want this roofing material? That's fine. We'll get it in 2023. We'll pull off the job till then, and then we'll start the job back up in 2023.
What,
So meanwhile,
October of 2023, September?
It could be December 2023. They said sometime in 2023. And
so then you got an open building.
yep, and they're not held accountable for the stop missing the end date, because no judge is going to side with anybody right now because of the environment we're in, because of the material shortages.
So our best
Outside of their
course of
control.
action is try to sit down and get ahead of it.
Yes. So that's what we got to get ahead of this and start finding solutions to this.
That's good. Okay, well, I mean, I don't think we need a motion for you to sit in.
No, we don't need a motion. I just wanted to bring it and just get feedback from both of you before I scheduled that and sat down with them to say, hey, let's figure out where we're at.
But let everyone know when you're going to sit down, and then if we could just stop by and listen. If they see us all there listening,
Right.
but we just cannot make a decision.
Yeah. Well, and I'm going to be making decisions at that meeting anyways. I just want the
Right.
facts to bring back and kind of dig into this a little bit.
Okay, well, let's-
What about the gazebo ditch?
That's a whole, that we haven't even addressed that yet. That hasn't even come up
Okay.
in change orders or how they're gonna do that. So Mike, I don't know if you saw that. I just saw it when I was there with Craig this week. If you're looking at
right,
the,
I went up and looked at it.
yeah, you see that big dip there. That's just gonna flood everything.
Our windows look at the people's feet.
Yes.
We gotta leave the gazebo.
Yeah, I'm just saying they gotta fix something.
But we gotta put a retaining wall or something there. Something's gotta be done on their behalf.
Some
They
kind
should
of-
have known.
You'll
that.
need some kind of drainage somewhere.
Right.
I would like to see a short retaining wall and then gravel all that, in between, because the air conditioning units have to sit there anyways.
That's my other concern. If all that water runs as air conditioning,
Yeah.
we're gonna burn.
I don't want to
It's
run it
gonna
right
rust them
against
out.
their
I hate
building.
gravel. I mean, if you could somehow swing concrete so you can funnel it better.
Well,
I mean,
somehow it
gravel-
needs swaled right, not to just play against
Well,
it.
what were they planning on doing? Have they said anything?
Again, I think when I showed them, they were like, oh, yeah, we gotta look at that. Like, come on, guys.
The other thing.
Come on,
was,
guys.
Through this discussion, I mean, what's gonna happen when, remember, we wanna put those beams and stuff in? That's not good. We better be looking into that, and the sandstone and all that stuff that we wanna do to make it look, so these are things we gotta ask.
Well, they did mention,
I
I don't know who all was made aware, but they did mention that the beams did not meet structural testing, so we can't use them for structural purposes. They can
Right.
be visual only.
Right, that's all I thought we were gonna do.
They did make some suggestions of cutting them down into slices and making a wall out of them. like kind of like a wall
Oh,
cover.
that would be cool.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like turn them into smaller planks and then
Yeah.
panel them together.
Oh, well, yeah, we'll have to just address that as it comes, but,
Right.
okay.
So that's where we are. There's no other official decisions that need to be made at this time. We just needed to figure out the bricks so we keep project going.
Okay.
And
So
then,
somebody will go up and talk to them, make sure they're not walking off?
yeah, so they got the construction meeting today. So I know Craig will be there, Sue, you might be there today at 11 too. I can't be there. I got a meeting today. And then I'm going to reach out to Bob and Mario and say, listen, I know you both are Pennsylvania and Columbus, but you need to drive up here one morning. We need to have a sit down.
Get this thing figured out?
So that's where we're at.
Okay,
All right.
thank you. Thanks for having us.
Yep. All right. Anything else for the good of Brimfield Township? All right, if not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Okay, I'm gonna make a motion that we close the meeting at 8:02.
I will second that. All those in favor? Mike?
Yes.
Nick? Yes. Sue?
Yes.
All right. Meeting adjourned.